Hello, I'm Representative Andrea Lea of Russellville. Thank you for joining us for the weekly House Republican address to the people of Arkansas. For the last several weeks, our friends on the other side have attempted to define this year's election in terms of who will work with Governor Beebe, who will advance the Beebe agenda. This week, the people of Arkansas learned what the Beebe agenda was, and that is implementing the health care law of President Barack Obama. On Tuesday, Governor Beebe announced that he is fully committed to the expansion of Medicaid according to the provisions of the Obamacare law, adding 250,000 recipients to the program. The governor's chief selling point is a buy now, pay later strategy, where in 3 years the state could decide to opt out of the expansion when the law requires taxpayers to begin footing part of the bill. In other words, in 3 years a decision will have to be made. Do we foot the bill as a state for the expansion, or do we kick 250,000 people off of Medicaid? Governor Beebe will not have to make that call. It will be up to the next governor and a new set of legislators to be the responsible ones. House Republicans believe that it is important for our state to be a leader in Medicaid reform, not only for our people, but to help put our nation back on the path to fiscal solvency. Currently, our state's growth in the Medicaid system is unsustainable. The general revenue line item increased by 16% in fiscal year 2013, and the current projected shortfall for fiscal year 2014 is 35%. Our Medicaid trust fund balance was $379 million in fiscal year 2011. That trust fund is expected to be completely depleted by the end of this year. As policymakers, we must always weigh the consequences of our decisions, both long-term and short-term. We have heard much from the governor about the altruistic justification for enacting President Obama's agenda in Arkansas. Perhaps our altruism should be extended to the nation as a whole, as all of the states in our union and our citizens are threatened with a $16 trillion national debt. America is a union of states. The argument of not getting our fair share of federal tax dollars and letting them go to states like California and Texas is an argument of desperation. We can no longer ignore the fact that runaway federal spending and our national debt have a direct impact on the futures of our Kansans and our state budget. The question of whether we continue down this path as a nation and state, or whether we as Arkansans and Americans can do better, is a question you will decide this November. As Republicans, we believe that we can do better than the previous 138 years of one-party control of our state. I invite you to learn more about the House Republican Simple Plan by visiting our website at www.ourhouse.org and keep up to date with us by following us on Twitter and Facebook. Before we leave you, earlier this week we honored the memories of nearly 3,000 victims of the September 11th terrorist attacks. 2 Arkansans were among those victims. Sarah Lowe of Batesville was a flight attendant on American Airlines Flight 11, the first plane to crash into the World Trade Center. Operations Specialist 2nd Class Nehemiah Lyons, the 4th of Pine Bluff, was a sailor serving in the Pentagon. We will never forget the tragic events of that day, nor how Americans came together to show the world our resolve and what makes our country the exceptional place it is. Thank you for joining me today. God bless you, God bless the great state of Arkansas, and may God continue to bless the United States of America.